Gorox Gaming.
Welcome back to the Gorox Gaming channel. Today we are going to bring you something different than you've ever seen before. Well, at least different from most Madden channels, because I actually did get this idea from another Madden channel. Shout out C4. This is my version of Madden pink slips. Basically what's going to happen here is, due to the fact that Madden 23's fantasy draft franchise is completely broken this year, therefore it reverts you to the draft no matter what you do. I am going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to go fantasy draft style and just poach from the teams as I go. But the caveat is I have clear, rules about this fantasy draft. So basically what's going to happen is I pick up players from other teams' fantasy draft style, have to trade, for their best. I have to trade my best player at the same position. So the only time you're going to see me really give up or get a better player back is with this first pick, because in the first round I can take anyone that's not a quarterback. So I feel like the clear-cut choice here is, Myles Garrett, the best player on the game, realistically. But that might not be my choice, honestly. I feel like with the first Madden pink slips, I kind of want to make it a little bit of a challenge, but we might still go that way. I'm not quite sure yet. But then on the second round, we take an 84 or less, also still no quarterbacks. So I'm not going to be able to get, a low 80s quarterback really at all in this, unless I beat a team twice, which means I could probably poach my interdivisional rivals quarterback. But we'll see how that goes. It really depends on who's in my division, because I am the Houston Texans. So we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, for the third through fifth round, we will do 78 overall or less, and now I can pick a quarterback. So I might still be able to get a solid quarterback, like a younger guy like Justin Fields or, Zach Wilson, something like that. Lower overall, but still a solid player. And then 6 through 10 rounds, we'll go 73 or less, and then for the rest of the draft, it'll be 70 overall or less, and we're only doing between 30 and 35 selections, just kind of where I feel like we're good. But like I said, we are starting with the Houston Texans, so we're not going to see a lot of outflux of talent per se. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to start with the worst team, so I didn't have to, have like 3-4 superstars getting traded around. I want to keep the NFL, as realistic as it is right now, while also having some fun with these rosters. So, with that said, let's get into this fantasy draft, and we'll talk about how the Madden pink slips is going to work a little bit different, or a little bit later, I should say. So, first round, the obvious pick is Myles Garrett, of course, but there are other guys that are available. TJ Watt, for instance. I know he is injured, I guess, so I couldn't trade for him. Stephon Diggs. Nick Bosa, actually, would make a lot of sense as well. But I think that there's a clear-cut choice here, and it's going to be Mr. Myles Garrett, and we're going to be trading him to the Houston Texans, as I've said before. And also, like I said before, we are going to have to give up our best player at the same position, which I do believe he is a right end, and that'll be Jonathan Grenard. So we will not have Jonathan Grenard on this, at least for now. We could pick him up later, but that's going to be our first trade of this franchise. So as I said before, the rest of the draft is by round. So second round, we have 84 overall or less, but no quarterbacks. So what we're going to do is we are going to scroll down all the way down to about the 84 region, and that's where we're going to make our selection based on who's available where, because I don't really know what position we want to go with necessarily. Actually, there probably is a few positions that I could have just looked at and I guess made this a little bit better, a little bit easier. But Javon Holland would make a lot of sense. Michael Pittman could make some sense, but I don't love his speed. T. Higgins as well. CeeDee Lamb actually might be this pick. I'm feeling CeeDee Lamb here. Let's see. CeeDee Lamb, I don't really see anybody yet that, would make me stop taking CeeDee Lamb. There's really not too much, to be honest with you here. Let's look. I feel like there was a corner that I really liked. Maybe it was not. Let's see. Maybe it was the Cowboys corner Diggs. Nope, he's at 85. Okay, so it wasn't him. I think it might have been Patrick Surtain. What is he now? Is he higher than that? Oh, wow, he's an 86 now. Okay, so Patrick Surtain is all the way up to an 86, so he is off the board, unfortunately for us. And I do think CeeDee Lamb is going to be the pick here because, fortunately for us, this is 84 and less, and he is exactly on that cut, right at 84 overall. So we are going to go ahead and poach CeeDee Lamb away from the Cowboys. But fortunately for the Cowboys, we actually have a really good wide receiver in Mr. Brandon Cooks. And bye-bye, Brandon. Welcome, CeeDee. So you kind of get the gist now. We're gonna trade our best players at those positions to also give the Cowboys a receiver worth playing back for CeeDee Lamb, but also we can't keep Brandon Cooks on this roster. So rounds 3 through 5, we're going 78 or less, and this is where I can start looking at quarterback. So of course the first place I'm going to look is quarterback. Jalen Hurts is available. That is very, 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 very enticing. I'm not going to lie to you guys right now. Him being available, while we also can't trade for Trey Lance technically due to his injury in game, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback of this football team. Honestly, though, I think I'm not going to allow myself to draft Jalen Hurts just because of the fact that he should be a higher overall because he's playing so well. And I don't really like Tua. Mac Jones is not for me. Trevor Lawrence, though. Trevor Lawrence, inter-division rival. I almost feel like I shouldn't be able to do that because of the inter-division rival as well. I should have to beat them twice. So we're going to make that a new caveat. We cannot take the quarterback of an interdivisional rival, even in the fantasy draft, until we beat them twice. Justin Fields is very enticing, but we could get him later, so we'll probably wait on that. Running back is a position that could make some sense here, being 78 or less. We kind of do want to get a decent running back, and Dameon Pierce is actually already on the team, so we might just run with him. Kenneth Walker, actually, though, is a much better player in Madden, in my opinion. So I think we're going to go ahead and swap Dameon Pierce for Kenneth Walker. Straight up. Pretty much the same, he's a little bit better overall, Dameon Pierce is. But I do like Kenneth Walker's speed a lot more. He's got, trucking is pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and run with him, the 21-year-old, out of the backfield. So round 4 now. We have another 78 or less. And as of right now, we have taken a defensive end, a wide receiver, and a running back. So something we're going to look at here, 78 or less, is a corner, because obviously corner is a huge position, and it is something that we desperately need. And 78 is kind of a tough cutoff for that position specifically, but I'm sure we'll find somebody that's pretty good. And Bryce Hall actually looks really solid, 24 years old. Only 88 speed, though. I don't love that. Let's see what his coverage is like. I feel like he's more of a zone press. Oh, wow, his press is 88. That's beautiful. Bryce Hall is number 1 on my board right now. I can tell you that. 24 years old as well, 6'1", 202. I just wish he had a little bit better speed, honestly. That's really the only thing holding me back. Oh, Derek Stingley is already on the team, and honestly, we're just going to go ahead and run with that. We're going to keep Derek here as our 4th rounder. So for the last 78 or less, we are going to go ahead and look at pass rusher again, because we know just how much pass rusher matters in this game. Odafe Owe would make a lot of sense here. 89 speed. Let's see. Oh, player details. Oh. Let's look here. They don't have, oh well. Oh, okay. They do have his, like, most biggest, that's kind of cool. They have the best, well, I guess not the best. They don't have finesse and, you know, power moves. But anyway, his 73 block shedding isn't the best. But let's see what his finesse and power rush moves are, because he probably is going to be the pick here. 66 and 79, though. 6'5", 251. He's very young at 23. He looks like he's probably going to be the pick. But we're going to keep looking because there's potential. There's some, you know, hidden gem here, like Trayvon Walker. That's a guy that I actually love, and I would definitely move him down to defensive end, and he would be an absolute monster right next to Myles Garrett here. Let's see. His finesse and power moves are not great, but his block shedding's a lot better. Let's keep looking. I do love Trayvon Walker, and he's only 21 years old, so that could be a big difference maker in terms of who we draft here. Aiden Hutchinson would be great. Ooh, that's really tough, man. I don't really want to poach him just because of the fact that, you know, I'm a Lions fan, but I feel like I have to take him if I'm going to take anybody. Let's look at his finesse and pass rush moves, or power moves, I should say, and his block shedding. Hit power 85, good power moves, good finesse moves, and good block shedding. I think, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take Aiden here as our last pick in this 78 overall shield here. So with our other defensive end, oh wait, this is the wrong team. So our other defensive end, Jerry Hughes, is going to go ahead and head over to the Detroit Lions. I know, sucks for the Lions in that aspect because we're taking a great young player and we're stealing him. So with that being said, we're moving on to the 6th round of this draft. And we're going to be able to take 73 overalls or less. And, ooh, you know what? Actually, guys, I think I screwed up. I think I'm going to reverse my Aiden Hutchinson pick because I am completely disregarding a more important position because I already have a pass rusher here. So we're going to go ahead and disregard this pick. Just, you know, take this back, basically. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a left tackle because I just realized we do not have any offensive linemen yet. And with a 78 overall or less cutoff, this is kind of the last, you know, round of the decent tackles. And Ekwonu would make a lot of sense. I really do like him. Jonah Williams is all right. But we're going to look at right tackle as well, just to kind of see if anybody is going to slip under the radar. Evan Neal. Now that would be, in my opinion, the best pick, because I know Icky's got a little bit worse rating. They're the same age. Let's see what their pass block. So 78, 82, and 76. His run block is decent too. Let's go look at Icky's real quick and compare. Just because I want to make sure we're picking the right guy. I know the overall doesn't necessarily matter as much. His pass block is not good. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go with Evan Neal here. We're going to poach the rookie right tackle away from the New York Giants. So, Lions fans, you can rest assured knowing you're keeping Aiden Hutchinson, and we are going to go ahead and snag Evan Neal away. Mekhi Becton would honestly be the pick I would take, but he's injured. So, wait, I don't know. Actually, can I make that work in this? I haven't really tried it yet in this one, so we're going to go ahead and see what would happen if we tried to trade for an injured Mekhi Becton. Not sure if it'll go through or not, but we shall see. And seeing as he is going to be our left tackle, not our right tackle, we are going to give up Laramie Tunsil. So, okay, so he's injured. But either way, the Giants are going to get a huge, massive upgrade here. So, Giants fans, you can rest assured happily that you are getting Laramie Tunsil back in this trade for Evan Neal. So, with that said, now we can finally move on to the 6th round, and this is 73 or less. So now what we're going to do is look at pass rushers for sure. because this is a position that we don't really want to wait on. We don't really want to get too late in terms of, you know, where we pick this kind of player, because we don't want to get the worst of the worst, really. And honestly, Christian Barmore would make a lot of sense, but I feel like I would move him to D tackle, and then his overall would go up quite a bit. So I think we're going to just keep guys in position. Your Turgros Matos would make a lot of sense. Devontae Wyatt, well, he's okay. Left outside linebacker, though, let's look at. Defensive tackle could be a position we take here as well. There's not a ton here. David Ajabo, though, he's injured. Can't trade for injured players, unfortunately. Now, 73, Malcolm Rodriguez, but he's not a pass rusher. Jamin Davis, not a pass rusher. Baron Browning, I guess, is a pass rusher in real life, but I don't like to play him there. I don't think his finesse and power moves are very good. Let me look, though, because if they're good, I'll pick him. Yeah, 70, 63, and 73 block shedding. Actually isn't as bad as I thought they were going to be, but that's not exactly what you're looking for, you know, in a number one or a starting pass rusher. Josh Uche would make some sense too. Actually, let's compare Uche and Browning just to see, because I know Uche is actually a pass rusher. So yeah, well, Baron Browning's actually kind of got him beat in a few ways, but let's look at D tackle real quick too, just to get this out of the way. I just want to make sure there's nobody that we're gonna, you know, miss out on here. 73 or less. See, this is really the reason why I'd like to have the fantasy draft back, because it makes it a little bit easier. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I think, oh, this is tough. It's Baron Browning or your Turgros Matos right now, if I'm being honest with you. Carlos Basham actually isn't terrible. 24 years old, though. Let's look at his finesse. Actually, he's got pretty good moves. He's actually a very good fit in a 3-4-2, which is what we run. Slide over here to right end, because I do believe that is where what your Turgros Matos is. 6'5", 266. See what his, you know, power moves, finesse moves, all that jazz is. Ooh, okay. So I think actually the pick is going to be the left end here. Can't remember his name already. Not Christian Barmore. Carlos Basham. Well, Christian Barmore actually could be solid too if we're going to run a 3-4. Really depending on what his moves are as well. 72, 76, and 74. And honestly, I think we're going to run with him. We're going to go ahead and take him right now, add him to this Texans roster. And now we are going to trade away Mr. Jerry Hughes. So as you see, a lot of these teams are going to get better. So it'll also make it a little bit harder to beat them, but also it'll make it a little bit, it'll mean less when we get to poach players too. So take that into consideration. So now we have round 7, which is, of course, still 73 or less. And with this pick, we're going to go with safety, I think. And then we're going to go with a few offensive linemen as well. So 73 or less. There's obviously not a ton here, and a lot of these guys are actually free agents completely. So not a ton there at safety. So we might actually wait a little bit longer for that position. Jalen Petrie is actually already on the roster, and we might just keep him, being a 73, 90 speed. What's his hit power, though? I feel like he's got terrible hit power. Let's see here. Where'd it go? 74 actually isn't the worst. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that, and he could play free safety for us for sure. Derek Forrest. 23, 91 overall speed, or 90 speed. 72 overall. Nick Cross looks pretty good too. 20 years old, 92 speed. Let's compare their hit power and tackle, because that's, you know, zone coverage. Cross has him by quite a bit. Man cover, Cross. Well, actually, Forrest is winning that one, surprisingly. Where is their hit power at? I feel like, okay. 86 to 84. Ooh, Nick Cross with 84 hit power. I think I'm going to have to go with Nick Cross. I think I'm going to have to. And what we're going to do here is, since this is round 7, we are going to go ahead and take our other safety, Jalen Petrie, here in round 8. So we're actually going to go ahead and trade away Eric Murray for Nick Cross. That way Petrie will be our free safety. And then we have 2 more picks of 73 or less. So here we're going to go ahead and let's look at another offensive lineman, specifically tackle, because that's the clear most important position on the field. Charles Cross, the other rookie left tackle, would make a lot of sense, or Tyler Smith. Let's look at their pass blocking and run blocking, see what we're looking at here. Pass block is clearly the biggest one, and they're actually pretty similar. Charles Cross is a bit better, actually, but Tyler Smith is quite a bit better run blocking, and Tyler Smith will probably play right tackle for us too, so I think we're going to go ahead and take Tyler Smith here with our 8th round pick and secure another pretty solid tackle here. Not sure they're going to get an upgrade at tackle, but they're not going to get a downgrade. So Titus Howard going back to the Cowboys. And then round 10, our final 73 overall selection. This is tough because I feel like we could go a lot of different ways here. The first thing that comes to mind is corner. And we're going to go ahead and see what's available, 73 or less. And honestly, I think corner might be a position that we could wait a little bit too and get a few 70s as long as they have, solid. Tariq Woolen is definitely going to be the pick here because that's a guy that I was looking at beforehand. And with this being our last 73 overall pick, we are definitely going to go ahead and poach him. And he is going to be a beast for us with Derek Stingley. And Steven Nelson is going to be the trade here. And once we run out of, decent players to trade away at the specific positions we're going for, we're going to just trade away the best players on the team. So now for the rest of the draft, we're going to get 70 overalls or less only. And as of right now, let's go ahead and look at this roster. And you know what? I think I went ahead and did not take a quarterback. So Justin Fields will not be our QB. Davis Mills will also not be our QB. Mr. Malik Willis will be for our first 70 or less pick here. Really doesn't matter what we go with because the rest of this draft is all going to be 70 or less. So Malik Willis is the new quarterback of the Houston Texans, and Davis Mills is the new backup in Tennessee. And with that being said, let's look at what we have. Malik Willis at quarterback, Kenneth Walker at running back, CeeDee Lamb at receiver. Obviously, a lot of these guys will be gone, but Tyler Smith will play right tackle. Evan Neal will play left. Barmore, we might slide inside, depending. These guys won't play here. And then we got Derek Stingley and Tariq Woolen on the squad here. And once we get into it, guys that are, injured on the team, like Tavier Thomas, I will have, pre-existing injuries off, so we'll be able to cut those guys straight up and form our roster. And then we have Petrie and Cross as our safeties. And really what I did was I knew Malik Willis was going to be there, so I decided to not take Justin Fields because I would rather have Malik Willis with his 92 speed, I think, than a terrible safety in the backfield. Because I do feel like I can play all right with Malik Willis, whereas if I got a terrible safety, I'm pretty much screwed. So with that being said, we've taken quarterback, running back, receiver, 2 tackles, 2 D linemen, and 2 safeties and 2 corners. So we're going to look, a little bit more in, let's look here. We're going to look at interior offensive line. 70 or less, of course. So we're going to go all the way down here and just kind of pick the best guys that we can find because really at this point, we just want the best guys possible. Mason Cole could make some sense at center. Let's look at his pass blocking and run blocking and all that. His pass blocking is not great. Run blocking is pretty good. Impact blocking is pretty good. I think we're gonna go ahead with Billy Cole. I saw Billy Price here on the side. I think we're gonna go ahead with Mason Cole, and actually Cam Jurgens is way younger. Let's see the difference between the two, because if it's even comparable, I'm gonna go ahead and run with Cam. It's not comparable. Cam is a lot worse in a lot of ways. So we're gonna go ahead with Mason Cole as our new starting center. And we're going to have to trade. Well, we can't trade Justin Britt, unfortunately, because he is injured. So we're just going to trade the backup here. And like I said, guys that are injured will just be cut when it comes down to it. So let's look here now at left guard. As you guys saw before, there wasn't a lot. So let's look at right guard first, just so we can kind of check 70 or less. Royce Newman, don't know who you are, but I'm going to check you out. 25 years old. Dylan Parham. Ed Ingram wouldn't be bad either. We're going to look at all those guys. Let's get all the way down here to their pass blocking, impact blocking. Okay, so Ed Ingram is clearly the better run blocker of the group. Really not close. Oh, pass blocking's back here. So Newman's the best pass blocker, but Parham actually isn't far behind. Parham's a little bit better run blocker than Newman is, but Ingram blows them both out of the water in the run blocking department. And Ingram seems to be the most well-rounded as of now. Well, actually, you know what? This is tough. Newman is not the best run blocker, but he's a pretty good pass blocker. What's the difference between him and Ingram age-wise is really the question here. 2 years. I think we're gonna run with Ingram because he is a little bit younger, and he's a lot better run blocker. So we'll be able to run this ball hopefully with what we have. And of course, AJ Cann will be sent over to Minnesota, so they'll get an upgrade at their right guard position. And actually, let's look here. We might take Newman as well. Yeah, actually, we're going to take Newman as well. He's going to play left guard for us. We have our starting O-line now, so that's great. Kenyon Green, you're gone. So now we're going to work on the defensive line, just kind of figure out what we need. And actually, let's look here. Defensive lineman, 70 or less. We're just trying to find, the youngest guys with the best skills. Drake Jackson would be solid here. Let's see here, right end. Defensive tackle is probably the bigger need, but we'll see. Ross Blacklock actually wouldn't be bad here. He could slide in to play defensive tackle as well. Peyton Turner, though, is going to be the pick here. We're going to take Peyton Turner, and then that way we can still slide some guys around and maybe configure our defensive linemen a little bit differently. And I think we are actually going to also take Tillery or Blacklock. Let's compare. Strength, Blacklock's got it. Agility, Tillery's got it. Speed, Blacklock's better, actually. That's kind of surprising. Blacklock's a little younger. Let's look at their power moves and finesse moves. Block shedding. Tillery's a little bit better. Finesse moves, they're about the same in terms of power. They're literally the exact same power moves and finesse moves. Play rec. I think we're going to go with Blacklock just because he's a little bit younger. And then that way we might actually move Christian Barrymore inside because Blacklock's not a nose tackle really. Not really what we're looking for in that position. And Okoronkwo. Okay, there we go. Figured it out. It didn't take me that long, so it's all right. Defensive tackle, too, we're going to look at. Pretty much we're just going to look at each position and fill this team out with 70 overalls pretty much is going to be the plan here. Milton Williams is probably going to be the pick. He seems the most clear pick, in my opinion, being so young and at the top of the heap here at 70 overall. Go ahead and take him. Defensive tackle. And Malik Collins, you're going to go. And we're going to take one more D tackle and just kind of figure out how to round out this roster. Bobby Brown, his strength isn't very good. But let's see. Block shedding is actually decent. So I think we're going to go ahead and take him. Bobby. All right. Let's see. Defensive tackle. Go ahead and trade away, I guess, Roy Lopez. And then moving on to left outside linebacker. Not really sure what we're going to do with this defense yet because we have quite a bit of holes still. I know we got Myles Garrett, but other than that, we don't really have too much on this defense. So with that said, 70 or less here is going to be pretty tough. Tag McKinley, I guess, would be okay. Nick Bonito, though, actually is going to be the pick. I don't know if you guys have noticed, which I'm sure you have. I'm always going younger, just because I know that this team is going to take a few years to get anywhere near good. So we're going to take Bonito there. Middle linebacker. Let's see. We're going to take a few of them. So we're gonna stay at this position for a while. Probably take 3. But it's got to be 70 or less. So Chad Muma is the first clear choice. The rookie, good speed. He's got pretty much good everything. Good all-around player. Trade him for Christian Kirksey. And then we've also got, let's see here. I know there's a Leo Chenal. That's a guy I like. Then there's a Falcons middle linebacker. His name is escaping my mind right now for some reason. But he's always really good on the game. So we're going to take, Troy Anderson. There he is. Troy Anderson is our other middle linebacker selection. And that way we have a lot of speed in that back end. And everything is going to be set to go in terms of our middle linebackers, at least. Our outside linebackers is a different story. So with that being said, really not a lot here in terms of outside linebackers. Terrell Lewis would be okay. I feel like there was a guy I liked a little bit. Yeah, Boye Mafe was a guy I liked a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and trade for him, and we're probably going to grab the other guy as well. Let's look here. Right outside linebacker was what it was. Camu Kruger? I don't even know. Anyway, then we're also going to go ahead and trade. Willie Gay would be solid, but we don't need another interior linebacker. We need an outside pass rusher type of linebacker. So we're going to go ahead and go with Terrell Lewis here. Okay. Blake Cashman is going to be the traded player. Now we're going to go ahead and go with corner, of course. And this is going to be tough because we need corners badly. We have 2 solid corners, but obviously we have nothing else outside of that yet. So we're going to try to get the best we can, but 70 or less is going to be really tough. Kyler Gordon is a 70. Go ahead and grab him up real quick. Might as well, I guess, right? Not Tariq Woolen. Do not want to give up Tariq Woolen, that's for sure. Desmond King. I keep forgetting he's on the team. So the Bears are going to get a huge upgrade at corner, and we're going to take their rookie. Damn, Cam Taylor-Britt's hurt, of course. So many guys are hurt in this 70 range. Troy Pride could... he's a free agent. Okay, so I can sign him straight up. Let's see. Is there anybody else? Let's see here. Chris Jackson, well, he's hurt. Damari Mathis wouldn't be bad. Chris Claybrooks. I'm looking for a little bit more size here. Jalen Watson is okay, but he's slow, kind of. Kobe Bryant, well, he's slow. Okay. A Caleb Evans. 6'2", 90 speed. I think we're going to go ahead and grab him up real quick now. Real quick like. 68 overall, but you got to get what you can get. Really, there's not a lot here at that spot. So we're going to go ahead and pick up that other corner as well. That was a free agent that we liked. Let's look here. Yeah, don't really like the height there. Let's go ahead and go by speed. Kalon Barnes could be good. Javelin Goodry. Damn, Keon Crossan's got to be a 71, of course. Alante Taylor would be great if we could have got him. I feel like there's somebody that I'm clearly missing. Zion McCollum would be solid. What's his coverage, though? Can't be good. 65. Oh, my gosh, that is terrible. 6'2", 199, though, with 93 speed. I think we're going to go ahead and trade for him. He's only a 66 overall, but he could really help us out in a few ways here. So, going to go ahead and pick him up. And one more cornerback pick. There was somebody that I really liked, and I can't remember his name, but he's a rookie. Let's look at age. Christian Benford. Man, I can't remember his name for some reason. Jalen Armour Davis would be solid. 93 speed. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab him. 66 overall. I know he sucks, but guys, that's the point. The team is going to suck. And actually, we don't have anybody to trade away other than the guys we already grabbed, so we're going to trade a safety away. And with that being said, we're going to grab our backup safeties now. And this is by age. So really, Caden Stearns is probably our best bet here. And I think we're just going to go ahead and poach him from the Broncos. Get that over with. He's probably not going to play too much, but we'll have a backup that way. And then kicker. Let's see. Kicker, I feel like we'll probably just rock with what we got unless the kicker or punter is really good on this team. But I seriously doubt. Yeah. Well, we're going to cut Kymai Fairbarn and Cameron Johnson. Whoops. What, you can't trade a punter? No, you can't. Okay. So we're stuck with what we got anyway. So unfortunately, well, we might as well we'll probably cut him. But with that being said, we're going to save this roster and see what's going on with this. All right, file saved successfully. Y'all saw that. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. We will see you on the next episode where we actually play games. This was just, to get you into the pink slips, let you know what's going on. But we'll see you on the next one.